Hello, second graders. Today we're going to look at some of the reading choices in your packet. I'm looking at this page and it says good ideas at the top. So once you find the page, go ahead and get started with me. I'm going to read the story first and then we'll go from there. Starting here. Let's make the flower bed look prettier, Heather said. Okay, Noah said. How are we going to do that? We can dig up the weeds, Heather said. Noah nodded his head. Good idea. They got to work. Wow, Noah said after a while. We have dug up a lot of weeds. Yes, Heather said. The flower bed looks much prettier now. It sure does, Noah said. Now let's go get a drink of water. Good idea, Heather said. They sat at the kitchen table. Heather drank some of her water. Then she set her glass down. Now let's make the kitchen look prettier. Okay, Noah said. I have a good idea how. Noah told Heather his idea. Heather laughed. That was my idea too. Let's tell Mom. Mom smiled when she heard their idea. Good idea, she said. So Heather and Noah cut some flowers from the garden. Then they put the flowers in a vase on the kitchen table. Okay, next page. The first question is, how do Heather and Noah plan to make the flower bed look prettier? If we look back at our story, let's see. Oh, here's the first idea. We can dig up the weeds, Heather said. And Noah said that that was a good idea, and then they got to work. So I'm going to write down, how do Heather and Noah plan to make the flower bed look prettier? By digging up weeds. There's our answer. Number 2. Why do Heather and Noah go into the kitchen after they are out in the garden? Does anyone remember? Let's see. They're out in the garden. They decide everything looks better. Oh, and then Noah says, now let's get a drink of water. Heather says, good idea, and then they sat at the kitchen table. So, right before they went into the kitchen, they decided that they wanted a drink of water. So I think that that's why they went in the kitchen, to get a drink. To get a drink of water. Number 3. What do Heather and Noah want to do once they are in the kitchen? Okay, so they decided they'd like a drink of water while they were still outside, but they make another decision once they're in the kitchen. Let's see. She's drinking some water. They're already at the kitchen table. She drinks her water. She sets her glass down and then says this. Now let's make the kitchen look prettier. So this is the idea they get while they're in the kitchen. What do Heather and Noah want to do once they are in the kitchen? They want to make the kitchen pretty too. We'll say they want to make the kitchen. Uh-oh, I ran out of space. I think the best thing to do is to make another line down here. They want to make the kitchen prettier. So that's what you can do if you run out of space also. Or you can write a little smaller than I did. Number 4, how does Mom respond when Heather and Noah tell her their plan? Let's find out. Let's see, I see the word Mom. Let's see what this sentence says. Mom smiled when she heard their idea. Good idea, she said. So she was smiling. How does Mom respond? So we could say that she was happy because she was smiling, or we could say good idea because that was her response. That's what she said. we can say, she said, good idea. Last question, what do Heather and Noah put on the kitchen table? Let's look back at our story again. Our next sentence says, so Heather and Noah cut some flowers from the garden. Then they put the flowers in a vase on the kitchen table. There's our answer. What do Heather and Noah put on the kitchen table? Flowers in a vase. All right, we're using our story to answer our questions. Let's see what's on the next page. Draw lines to match the words from the story with their meanings. Ooh, interesting. So we've been talking about context clues. So even if these words are not familiar to us, we should be able to figure out their meaning from the rest of the story. Okay, number 1, flower bed. Let's see. The flower bed looks much prettier now. Okay, so they've dug up all the weeds and now the flower bed looks prettier. Let's see which one of these probably means flower bed. Wild plants that do not belong in a garden. A plot of soil where flowers are grown. That could be a good option. A room where food is cooked. No. A thought or suggestion. No, that doesn't go along with our clues. A piece of ground where you grow fruit, vegetables, herbs, or flowers. A container used to display flowers. Okay, so a plot of soil where flowers are grown, or a piece of ground where you grow fruit, vegetables, herbs, or flowers would make the most sense. If I take a look ahead, I can see that number 2 is garden. And I think that a piece of ground where you grow fruit, vegetables, herbs, or flowers makes more sense for a garden because you can have all types of gardens, fruit gardens, vegetable gardens, herb gardens. But a flower bed is for flowers. And this says a plot of soil where flowers are grown. So that's our answer. And because we looked ahead, we already know the answer to number 2 also. A piece of ground where you grow fruit, vegetables, herbs, or flowers. Weeds. Okay, well, we know from our first sentence that weeds are what they were pulling out of the flower bed to make it look nicer. Wild plants that do not belong in a garden. That's a good option. A room where food is cooked? No. A thought or suggestion? Nope. A container used to display flowers? No, no, no. We only have one good option. Wild plants that do not belong in a garden. That's what a weed is. Kitchen. A room where food is cooked. We all know that. We don't have to look at our context clues. A vase. It's either a thought or suggestion or a container used to display flowers. Well, if we look back here, we know they put the flowers in a vase. So we can use our context clues to tell us that a vase is a container used to display flowers. We have one choice left. An idea is in fact a thought or suggestion. And this story was all about good ideas. Okay. Next, you're going to do a little writing. In the story, Good Ideas, Heather and Noah make the garden look prettier by pulling out all of the weeds. On the lines below, tell about a time when you made something look nicer than it did before. Did you clean your room? Sort through your toy box? Organize your bookshelf? How did you feel afterwards? Share your thoughts on the lines below. So anytime you made something look nicer than it looked before, like when we clean our classroom or you clean out your desk, we decorated our door for Black History Month with our Maya Angelou quotes, or something from home where you have taken time and made something look nicer than it looked before. Go ahead and write a few sentences about that. Okay. If you look at the next page, this is a story called Tulips. You'll read this story to yourself, or if you need help, find an adult to help you read it. And then you'll go through a few pages, just 2 pages, front and back of this page to answer some questions about the story that you just read. That's all for today, kids.